Hello, it's been a while. Today I'm going to talk about something that's a little bit embarrassing and a little bit scary. I am 65 and ready to retire. I wish I could, but I can't. I am 65, ready to retire, and broke. And worse than that, in debt. It's a very hard thing to admit because I consider myself a very intelligent, strong, savvy woman. And I have screwed this up big time. I just never learned about, aside from never learning about investing inherently you know to save. Saving is one thing. But investing and planning and all of that is a whole nother ball of wax. And I worked most of my life, I would say maybe 20 years as a freelance web developer. So there was no 401k, there was no retirement, anything. There was no health insurance for a long time. There was nothing. I was a single mom on her own with two girls and with my own business as a freelance developer. I chose that path because I wanted to be able to be involved in my children's lives. But man, it was a struggle. I mean, before I even got into that, it was a struggle. Before I made that decision to go into freelance work, I was already having a struggle. Single mom. I had insurance, and I wasn't single when I had my first child. And then shortly after I had her, I became single, and I found out I was another one on the way, and I didn't have insurance. It was just a completely different experience. So we started off in the negative, if you want to say. So the whole time I was raising my children, it was just a struggle to keep the roof over our head, the lights on, which sometimes they weren't on, and sometimes the water wasn't on, and sometimes the heat wasn't on, or the phone. A lot of times things got shut off. And a lot of times I didn't know when my next check was coming or how much it was going to be. It was very, very hard to plan. I suppose back then I could have changed my career choice, but to me at the time, it was very important for me to do whatever I had to do to be involved in my girls' lives. And I'm glad I did, as they turned out to be wonderful young women who I'm very proud of, and every sacrifice was totally worth it. We all sacrificed. We didn't know if we were, I used to say, it's feast or ramen, because it was. One day we'd be eating out at a fancy restaurant, and one day we were having ramen and Kool-Aid for dinner. So it was a struggle between working and daycare and raising the girls and taking care of household. I'm sure many of you can relate. Anyway, because I lived several decades going from paycheck to paycheck, and sometimes the paycheck, we never knew when the paycheck was coming or if it was coming, sometimes we didn't make it to the next paycheck. Savings was a foreign concept. If I could pay the rent, that's all I was concerned about. Yes, hindsight is 20/20 vision, and I should have done the thing of even saving $1 a day or something. But geez, sometimes I didn't even have the quarter to save. So this is how it was one time. It was so bad. At the airport, at the time, you could put a quarter in a machine and get a cart. And when you returned your cart, you'd get your quarter back. And sometimes people would not return their cart. They would just leave them in the parking lot. So I would go to the airport parking lot looking for those carts and shag the carts to get the quarter. Sometimes we didn't even have the quarters. So, but sometimes I couldn't even do that because I couldn't afford the gas to go to the airport. Everything was a double-edged sword. Anyway, I have all the stories, all the reasons why I do not have a retirement account. And it doesn't matter whether they're legit stories or not. Whatever the bottom line is, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I've been looking at, so I decided I needed to learn finally. I thought, hey, I'm supposed to retire pretty soon. Social Security, if it's there, is not going to cut it for me. So what am I going to do? And I have to work until my 66th year and 10-month birthday in order to be able to get my full Social Security and still be able to work so I can make the additional money, whatever I need to make to make up what Social Security is not going to cover, which is barely going to cover my rent. Yes, I know. I'm going to have to find someplace else to live, which is a whole nother story with all my animals. Everything has a story. Just know that. I thought, well, I better start figuring something out. So I started, where do you go? I went to YouTube and I thought, how do I retire with no money? Or how can I get some money at the last minute? So besides being at the point where you're going to retire and you have no money, you also know you don't have that much time. I don't have that much time. I am going to be positive and figure I got in maybe another good 20 years at least, hopefully, Lord willing, 20, 25 years. That would be great. But still, you can't make a nest egg if you're in the nest with no eggs. So I've been trying to figure something out. I've been watching all kinds of YouTube videos about retirement, IRAs, Roth IRAs, 401ks. I mean, this is something really, really sad. I've been at my job for like 9 years. I didn't realize there was a 401k option available to me. 9 years. 9 years I missed out on the match. That is such a devastating realization. I try not to beat myself up over it. I can't do anything about it. I can only go from now. It literally makes me want to cry. So I have to do something. So I've been watching a lot of videos, trying to learn a lot of things. But one of the other things I realized that's even scarier is that your children learn from you. Or don't learn, as the case may be. I have a daughter who's also a single mom with a baby, who's also a freelancer. Talk about the apple not falling apart from a tree. And who's also struggling financially. Talk about guilt. Sure, she's a grown adult and she has decisions to make. But what tools did I give her? How did I ready her? Did I put her in the right situation? Again, I want to cry because I feel like I did her wrong. I love her to death and she knows I love her to death and I'd give my own life for her. But did I give her the tools to succeed on her own? Or did I just teach her how to struggle like I am? Let me tell you, don't get me wrong. For the most part, life is great. I'm happy. We're all happy. We have good lives. We love our children. We love our family. We love our lives. It's just this one area that's such a huge struggle. And it's the big area. So I figure I need to learn, and I need to learn quickly. So I have been watching videos like crazy, trying to learn here and there, figure out what is legit advice, what is scammy advice, what is risky, what pertains to me. I watch some of these YouTubers and they talk about investing, and if you've already got $100,000 in your 401k and your Roth IRA, how do you can reinvesting so they last the next 20 years? I'm thinking, I have $200 in one and nothing in another and all that, and I can't even make it last to the next month. Yeah. Give it to me. Give me all those comments. I deserve them. Yeah, what an idiot. I'm not stupid, but I was dumb. So I am not going to give up. There is still something I can do. In addition to learning how to invest some money that I don't have, because I have the faith that one day I will, because I am also learning as well how to have an additional income stream so that I can quickly make some money. I can make my money through my regular job and then income streams on the side to try to earn some money I can stash away into these accounts that I don't have yet, learning the stock market, learning how to invest in crypto. 65 years old, and I'm just now learning about crypto. But this is not new. It was by hook or by crook, scraping and doing whatever I had to do to survive with my children. And we survived, and we will survive. And I am learning, and I will survive the next 20, 25 years. And what's most important is that I am teaching my daughters not to learn from my mistakes. I am showing them, look, your mom screwed up here. Your mom really screwed up. Don't do what I did. Most of the lessons I taught my girls were things that they shouldn't do by looking at me. But so I am going to teach them what I learned, help them get ready, set up their own Roth IRAs, their own Fidelity accounts, how to dabble in crypto, look at stocks, learn about trading, be financially savvy. All of this is just another commentary on what we're missing in our schools. Yes, I graduated 1,000,000 years ago, and they graduated 20 years ago, 10 years ago. So, right, hindsight again, it's 20/20 vision. But man, I wish we had learned this. I wish I had learned it. I wish they had learned it. My parents didn't teach me. My parents were gone by the time I was doing this. I had no husband to teach me. Who didn't know? I don't know. So, whatever it is, the reason, however it is I got here, I'm here. And I have got to figure out how to get over this hurdle. And then my goal is to figure out how to get over this hurdle, learn about creating new income streams, how to earn and save even when you have next to nothing. It's all in the mindset, I think. And so, I mean, it's very important. It's very important that you have the right mindset. I just saw something, one of the girls that I watch, her name is Rose Hahn. And she said, what did she say? Something like, quit telling yourself, I can't save anything, or I'll look it up. Anyway, it's like, I learned how to save. I don't know how to save, but I just need to learn how to save, invest in all that. So I have several YouTubers I've been watching, many, many, many videos, and they've been, I think, important, good advice. There's Rose Hahn, a guy named Berger, Mel Abraham. There's a really good guy with a channel that's called Clear Value Tax. I watched Dr. Ed Weir, who is a Social Security czar. He was in Social Security work for a long time, and he's retired, but he's still sharing the information. Very good information to know if you need to learn about Social Security, on what to do and how to file and what ramifications are. Very down-to-earth guy, really top-notch information. I'm not in Social Security yet, but I will be, so I'm learning. And a lot of this stuff is that I'm learning now for what I will implement later. I'm just filling the brain. I am getting ready. So when I am on the starting block, I know which direction that I'm going. Another guy I like to listen to is Sherman, my CPA coach. I really like Matt Sorensen, wealth lawyer and entrepreneur. A lot of tax information that's helpful. Not so much retirement, but tax information and other things that are helpful, especially as I'm thinking about having my own business. And then another girl, Personal Finance with Layla. Debt over it. So I'll put links to all these channels in the description if you want to check any of them out. Of course, obviously, I am not a financial advisor, disclaimer section. And, you check out the videos, listen to these people, and see what you think and make your own decisions about taking their advice or not. Ultimately, Once I figure out what I need to do, I'm confident in my plans, and I have a plan, and I can teach my girls what they need to do. And the scariest thing came up. What really bothered me is I have my granddaughter now. She's about 1.5 years old. Man, I do not want to send her down that path. The same as me. I do not want it to be a generational issue. I want to break the pattern now. I want my daughters at 30 years old, to switch the train tracks. They're going down my track. I want them to switch and go down another track. And I don't want my granddaughter to even know about this train. I want her to experience abundance as well as the love and peace and comfort and above all health. But anyway, so there's confessions of a irresponsible person who made some decisions one way and not some decisions the other way. Yes, I made bad decisions. Yes, I'm having struggles right now, and I wish I would have done things different. No, I am not going to beat myself up about it. I am going to say, Kathy, yes, we made a mistake, but you know what? We are not going to stay in that mistake. We are not. The picture is clear. We see what's playing in this movie, and we are turning it off, and we are changing the channel, and we are moving in a direction. And are all those years of mistakes and wrong decisions or lack of decision useless or worthless? No. They were lessons learned and experiences that I can build upon. I know what to avoid. So I'm not going to beat myself up too much about it. Except when I think about missing 9 years of that 401k. Oh, okay. I'm not going to cry about it again. I keep saying that. But anyway, this is my journey. This is my new journey. I will let you know how it's going. I will let you know if I have started being able to set up. I learned from watching several of these videos that maybe the direction I want to go is HSA and not the FSA from my work. So how do I go about it? But this is an area that is another problem, is that I watch all these videos and I have all these questions and I think about this and it makes me think of something else, but I just don't know who to ask now. So I will be contacting some of these YouTubers and lawyers, and especially Roseanne. I will contact Roseanne and see if she will have a sit down with me, and see if I can get some advice from her. You know, I watched the PBD podcast, and there's several of those guys you can reach through Connect, and I think I will try to contact a couple of them and see if they might not be able to give me some advice. A couple of the guys on the PBD podcast, Adam and Tom. I would love to have a sit down with them and get some information and some advice. But man, it's pricey. It's really pricey. My future would look bright if I could talk to Adam and Tom. I'm going to have to take a part-time job just to have a sit down with them. Anyway, I am going to try to reach out to some of these people and get the advice that I need, or some of the answers, or some of the direction. ChatGPT only has so much information. So, and I need somebody to counsel me on my particular situation. So, we'll see how that goes. And anyway, this is a long journey. And I hope by the end I have learned something and I have advice that I could give and share and help somebody else struggling this. Maybe I can make a list of some of the things to do. If you're struggling and you think you have no money and you can't save, there is a way. Even if you take one of those quarters that you dig out of the couch and put it in a jar and save it, and at the end of the month, you have 8 quarters in there and put it in some kind of investment. That could be a start, because the 8 quarters will be like bunnies. They will multiply. Bunny quarters. Anyway, so yes, it's a little bit humiliating. But part of the reason I'm putting myself out there and I am admitting my shortcomings is because I know I am not the only one. There's another single mom out there with 2 kids struggling and can't even afford the milk. I mean, this is how rough it was. I'm just telling you, this is a story I'm saying. This is something I may or may not have done. But I used to get WIC. And with WIC, I could get diapers and milk and formula. No, I could get formula and milk and cereal or something. But I needed diapers, and it didn't cover diapers. But I could go to the local community food bank and get formula. So I may or may not have gotten the formula out of the WICs and then returned the formula and exchanged it for diapers because I just couldn't afford the diapers and I could get free formula somewhere else. I gamed the system. Oh, maybe I gamed or maybe I didn't. I'm not saying I did or I didn't. But you resort to these things. Shagging carts for a quarter. Exchanging formula for diapers. You got to do what you got to do to feed your family, keep them safe. The best thing I did in all those struggles, though, I have to say, is that I carried that burden. I never told my children, I can't afford it. We are broke. We are poor. No, you can't have that. We're starving. No, I let them live life, enjoy life, be a kid, and not carry their parents' financial burden. It was mine alone to carry, and it was their burden was to enjoy life, learn, go to school, make friends, make mud pies, whatever. And that was one of the best decisions I made. I struggled and I cried a lot and I was scared and I was freaking out and I didn't know how I was going to do it. But I did not ever share that with my girls. They were too little to carry that huge weight. So anyway, I have been all over the place with this story. But yeah, it's embarrassing. I'm retirement age with no retirement and a lot of debt. I mean, I haven't even gotten to the debt part. So just know that on top of being broke, I am not in the hole. I am not flat broke. I am in the hole. I am deep down behind. Anyway, I'm not proud. I'm not proud, but I don't hate myself because I will survive this. I will get out of it, and I will come up with ideas, and I will come up solutions that I can use to help somebody else, especially my girls. So I'll let you know how things go. If I talk to anybody, questions that I have, the things that I learned, decisions that I made, things that I'm going to be doing. And then when I start working on the additional income streams, I'll share those too, because who knows, somebody else might want to make a few bucks on the side. Anyway, wish me luck. No, don't wish me luck, because it's not a matter of luck. It's a matter of success, and when it gets here, wish me quick success. That's right. So far, thank you, Lord. I've been able to keep the roof over my head, the lights on, I'd say 99% of the time. Water is another story. But I can feed my dogs every night. That's very important. So, anyway, there's so many other things. I think I'll leave it there. It's bedtime. I'm going to go watch a video about tiny homes because that always makes me feel better Because if I go to bed with this on my mind, I'm just going to have nightmares and worries, and I'm going to lay down there in bed and my eyes are going to pop open and I'm not going to be able to sleep because I'm just going to be worried. Oh, that's another thing. I can plan and I can acknowledge the situation, but not spend so much time worrying that it thwarts my efforts in every other part of my life. I cannot let this creep into my other parts of my life. This is a quest, and I'm good at quests. The thing is, when I set my mind to a quest, I will do it. Come hell or high water, I will do it. So this is a quest. It's going to be a long one, but I'll do it. And I'll let you know how I do it and how my success is going. Go Mama.